Ahoy, everyone! This is David Eugene Perry, and I'm in the Zoom room, as I always am, talking about arts, culture, literature, and in this case, movies, with someone who knows it better than anyone I know. He was a frequent guest on my show 10% when I broadcast from San Francisco. Welcome to the Zoom room, the one and only REELKev, Kevin Thomas. How are you?
Good, how are you? I didn't know the Zoom had a room. I thought it was every room.
It's every room. You
It's
are
every room.
every room. Like you've heard, you are every woman, you are every room.
I'm every Zoom room. It's all in me.
So,
Anyway, if I was a
Kevin,
singer, I'd have a real career.
I do. I know you have a real career, but this is your real career. I mean, you know more about movies and film than anyone I know, and I'm not just blowing smoke. For people who are not familiar with your writing and your blogging and your writing, tell me how you got into the world of becoming Real Kev, REEL, and what does that mean?
Well, I don't think we have 12 hours, so I'll do the shorter version. I have always loved the arts and writing, but I don't have the talent to do it myself. I'm best in the audience. I started writing little movie reviews of made-for-TV movies in the seventh grade. And I used to predict the Oscars. I used to type them up because I'm not 23 and mail my predictions to Siskel and Ebert. But I started becoming more of a professional. I used to be on examiner.com. I've been on your show. I love movies and I also love live theater. I really just like the arts and I like to share what I like with people, and what great platforms than through blogging, through my YouTube channel. I mean, I would go person to person to share my love of the arts, but now I found a way to do it for sometimes thousands at a time.
Now, we met a few weeks ago in Palm Springs, and you were here for Cinema Diverse. Tell us a little bit, what is Cinema Diverse and why were you here for it?
Well, almost speechless. Cinema Diverse is my favorite LGBT film festival, and I love Palm Springs. So the two of them being together is like a marriage that I love. Typically, it's like a 3 to 4 day event. Most film festivals sometimes go on to 10 to 14 days. That's a little long to leave your regular job to go to. So it kind of encapsulates the best. And the first time I ever saw it, I wrote an article calling it the Gay Academy Awards, which was picked up by the Huffington Post, because I just thought they had all these great quality movies. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I've been curating and doing a web series segment called Web Out. They did it 1 year and then they stopped and they said, Kevin, no one has time to watch all these web series. Find the best ones, invite them to come. I go, I do. So ever since then, I've had my own segments. It's now gotten up to 3 different days where I have different themes in each segment, where I invite people who produce on the web. And it's not typically a lot of the things that I find people could watch at home on YouTube, but I find a lot of other good web series through Here TV and Reverie and other streaming devices focused at gay people.
So, what is it about sitting in a darkened theater, watching movies for hours at a time, that has kept you passionate about this all these years?
Well, not necessarily the dark theater part, but I mean, I love because that always makes me think of the old days where someone used to,
Yeah,
reach down.
well, yeah, it's a family show. Let's
Yeah, I
just
know. That's why I said reach down. I didn't say where they're reaching. They're probably
yeah, yeah,
dropping the
okay,
popcorn
okay.
on the floor. Um, but I think like a musical and an action film are meant to be at the movie theater because it's grandiose. I mean, who would love to hear that great sound of action or songs or the scope and the bigness of it on TV? So many millennials are looking at it on their phone. That's not way to enjoy a movie. Maybe a good drama or comedy could be that way, but I just love the spectacle of going to the theater. And after the pandemic was, I mean, it's not really over, but when they started opening theaters again, I actually cried as I walked in, even to hear the commercials of surround sound and being engulfed by the beauty and love of the arts. So I love the theater and live theater too. Don't forget, I've been on your show, not just talking about movies, but I actually started the At Home Film Festival on YouTube right when Broadway closed down. I was so sad that these actors weren't working and we couldn't go to the theater. I understand. I don't want to go to the theater and come home with COVID. I'd rather come home with a great experience. So when it first kicked in, I said, let me just start a film festival where I more saluted shows that were once on Broadway, whether they were filmed like a West Side Story, but I also try to dig deeper and find what everybody just can't find by Googling best musical.
Right.
But I did it for 61 days in a row, because who did any of us know this pandemic would be in year 2?
Yeah.
61 days in a row, I made a little 1-minute video or 3 minutes, and that was it. Now I'm kind of embarrassed by the quality of those because it was handheld, no lighting. I just filmed it once, no editing. But now I've learned how to edit. I have a ring light. I have a tripod. I make my own little set. Somebody asked me to name my crew because they like the quality. I go, yeah, it's me.
So can people, this 61 days of the At-Home Film Festival, has it been recorded? Can people now go on and still see it?
Well, I prefer they don't go to the old ones because they were really poor quality. And I could tell too, when you have 25 views, that doesn't mean people really liked it. But now I've turned it into a weekly event with a different theme each week. It comes out on Sunday. So if you go to YouTube and look up REELKev, REELKev, like movie reel, you will find my channel. And every Sunday I start a new episode. I get 1,000 to 3,000 views. Sometimes I've hit 11,000. I don't know how that happens. But like this week's theme was, since Broadway's back, I did 2 weeks of musicals this month. And now we did a theme this week of filmed versions of plays, no songs, just plays. But I didn't do your typical ones like A Streetcar Named Desire or Death of a Salesman or Hamlet. I did, one is called Death Takes a Holiday. No one have probably heard of that, but I
have, but I'm of a certain
That's
age.
because you're David Eugene Perry. You know all too. You pretend you don't, but you know all. But I try to uncover new things, and I try to make it also accessible. Sometimes they cost a few dollars a rent, but Death Takes a Holiday is on Peacock, and I did Pygmalion this week. It's on HBO. I try to find ways for people to enjoy movies at home that aren't necessarily in the mainstream. I will have the next 2 weeks will all be Halloween related. I'm trying the first week to make it gay. Oh, sorry, I'm turning my back on you, David, but I'm trying to find, like Hellbent. This is one of my favorite, I don't know if it's shiny.
I got it. I can see it.
Favorite Halloween gay movies. First of all, the killer is so hot, you'd want to be murdered by him. I mean, that would be like, okay, fine. Let's enjoy each other since it's a family. Let's enjoy each other's company. Then you could kill me.
So the At-Home Festival, it's called the At-Home Theater Festival.
At-Home Film Festival.
At-Home Film
Festival. Hashtag At-Home Film Festival.
Got it. And so what time on Sundays?
It usually comes out at 7 a.m. And then when I officially wake up, I start tagging everybody that I can, because that's how you get a following. People don't always realize that. I'm not like a big celebrity that people just follow me like a Perez Hilton or one of those RuPaul Drag Race people. I have to tag a lot and get people, this was tagged on my thing and I should watch it.
Great. So 7 a.m. Pacific time every Sunday, the At-Home Film Festival.
Yeah, but if you go to my channel right now, you could watch last.
Well, I will. And of course, when you do a series or an interview on books that are going to be made into films, you can talk to me about my award-winning book.
You mean Upon the Rock, which is
Upon This Rock.
Upon This Rock. Oh my God, I got your title wrong. Let's edit that out. No, but you know what? Your book, I know this is a show, you're talking about me, but I hate reading. But I'm reading your book and I'm really enjoying it. And I will be writing about it because it's really good. And I already have 2 people in mind that I'm going to try to get it to make them help me make your book into a movie.
Thank you.
Now that I said that on air, I need some sort of credit. I don't mean at the very end where they roll fast on TV, like I'm thanked. If I help you make that, you got it. Like Kevin's name's got to be someplace.
Kevin, it will be a shameless promotion. This is what this show is all about. Selling you, selling me, and talking movies. Listen, we only have a few minutes left, and it's not quite Oscar season yet, but you know as well as I do, some movies will be trying to get under the wire to be considered for the 2022 Academy Awards. A couple questions for you. One kind of philosophical. We all saw the Oscars last year, and it was, in a way, moving, but also kind of tragic. I just
the worst Oscars I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. how excited are you about the upcoming Oscars? And two, how important do you think they are? And I mean, really seriously, the industry was staggered by COVID, like we all were. How important do you think the Oscars this February 2022 are going to be?
I think, when you're in film, the Oscars are the glory that you want. Oscars really don't mean the best, they just mean the most popular of the best. Because a lot of great movies, one movie I loved last year called The Garden Left Behind, they didn't even put that under consideration because you have to actually submit your movie. It's not like they just come and say, this is the best movie. You have to submit your movie, pay a fee, and if you don't do that, you're not even considered. And last year, Stage Mother, Jackie Weaver,
Yes.
should have been for Best Actress, but they didn't even submit the film. I actually did a slap in the face to both those filmmakers because I know them to say, you know what, your chances are small, but they're even less if you don't submit it. But the Oscars, I still think it's a coveted prize. People spend millions of dollars advertising it in the trades, which is also now online. Everybody wants an Oscar if you're in Hollywood. Even if you say you don't, you really wouldn't turn it down unless you were Marlon Brando 1972.
So, which are your favorites coming into Oscar season? Which ones do you think are going to be nominated and why?
Well, this is kind of, you've put me on the spot because I didn't even think we're going to talk the Oscars, but I'm going to tell you what first popped in my head. And I'm going to say, I hope this gets nominated for more than just one award. CODA, which means Children of Deaf Adults. The young actress in that, Amelia Jones, she should be up for Best Actress. She's from the UK, but she speaks a great American English. She sings, but she has to sing and do sign language. She has to learn how to fish. She does all these things and makes it look like this is what she's done her whole life, because she plays a young woman whose entire family is deaf. She's the only hearing one, and they rely on her for everything to communicate. It does seem like Marlee Matlin will probably be up for Best Supporting Actress, but I would be delighted if Amelia Jones was up for Best Actress. I just love her in that movie.
Any other predictions? And we're going to come back in a couple of months when the nominations are actually out and talk to you. But before that, this is kind of the preview. Any other predictions or hopes in our last 2 minutes?
Well, I don't have any other hopes, really. I mean, I would love if Jennifer Hudson is up for Respect, but she keeps going down the list. There's a website I love to follow called goldderby.com where buzz and critical praise, and then when it finally comes out, what people think of it, all are combined to come up with this list. I forgot the name because they finally just named it. Paul Anderson, he has a new movie out, which is getting a lot of buzz with Bradley Cooper in it. Obviously, I haven't seen it. I can't even remember the title, but it was known as the Paul Anderson Project for a while. They just came up with a name for it. But and Ann Dowd is supposed to be getting a lot of praise for the movie Mass, which is just coming out at theaters. So she's a contender. House of Gucci. Just like A Star Was Born, for a while, Lady Gaga was the leader for Best Actress in this early buzz. Now she's kind of in fourth place, but it's still just buzz. Sometimes buzz doesn't turn into even a nomination. Years ago, Timothée Chalamet was supposed to be nominated for Beautiful Boy. He got all these great critical praise. He didn't even get nominated. So my one thing I take away is watch CODA. It's available on Apple Plus. Amelia Jones is so good. She has been the one that stuck with me. I saw it free on Apple Plus, and then I paid to take a group of friends to see it at the theater.
Well, listen, we've been speaking to Kevin Thomas, REELKev, and it's 7 a.m. this Sunday Pacific. I will be tuning in, and then, of course, it's recorded, so I can watch it again for the At Home Film Festival. Kevin, any closing thoughts before we sign off?
Yes, you find the At Home Film Festival on REELKev on YouTube. REELKev.
There you go. This is David Eugene Perry and Kevin Thomas saying ahoy till next time.
Ahoy!